I tell you what, mate, it feels crazy for me this year, and I don't know if it's if Parramatta's last year ruined me completely or whatever it was, but my excitement for the season is not there just yet. And maybe these jerseys will do something. This is honestly, and I'm not joking, my first time wearing a Parramatta jersey since probably October, November. It's been a long time since I've put the colours on, so I'm looking forward to talking about the jerseys, especially the Parramatta one tonight.
It's just done my head in the fact that when you brought up the jersey, I was like, oh man, I could have wore a jersey. We both could have had the jerseys on. Would have been so fitting.
That's all right. Well, let's get straight into it. So we're going to be speaking about all 17. I almost said 16, but all 17 teams. And I have the jerseys on the screen so that you guys can see them, and we're going to discuss them and give them a rating out of 10 as well. We've seen some wacky jerseys over the years. We haven't had a proper look at these yet, so let's see what we think. So let's start off with the Brisbane Broncos, obviously a team that had a fantastic season. They were the NRL runners-up for the season. The jersey looks to be fairly similar in relation to the home with that cut down the middle there, and then they've gone with the white collar again. Not too sure if they had the white around the sleeves there, but I do like that design. I thought they had more of a maroon last year, if I'm not mistaken. It could be the exact same jersey. Who knows? But it's not a bad design. Obviously fairly similar. Probably give it about a 6.5. Probably 6.5 for this one for me on the home jersey. Looking at that away jersey, I'm not a fan. Now, I like the fact that they've brought the collars back, and there's good to see some jerseys do that kind of retro style. I actually like the stripes they've got down the middle, but this looks a lot like a training shirt, which a lot of jerseys do this year. But yeah, for this jersey here, I'm honestly going to give it a 3. It's very poor in my opinion.
Yeah, so like the home jersey, as you touched on, to me it looks pretty much the same. I could be wrong with there could be something vague that's different, but look, home jersey, what did you give it, a 7, 6?
6.5.
6.5, yeah. I think that's pretty spot on, just in the sense that it's nothing different what we haven't seen already. And if it is, it's marginally different. It's not a bad jersey, it's just not different. The away jersey, though, that's a interesting one. I forgot that that's what it was, because I was seeing the photos of Billy Walters when they were doing all the Vegas promo shots, and I saw him wearing it. And if you didn't know it was a jersey, like you said, a training shirt, even like a media shirt, just like with the collar and stuff, like it just looks strange. Like maybe it's going to look better when they play. Like I can easily see it being one of those ones where, when they play, it looks better. But yeah, it seems very, very off. So yeah, you gave it a 3.
It feels
I think.
wrong.
I'll go with that.
It feels wrong in the fact that you're going to charge $150 to $170 for that. Obviously, we're going to see other jerseys that look like training shirts, but I just think for that price and what you're getting there, I actually think the jersey itself is actually an okay design. But the way that it's made to look like they're trying to, stick it up the top shoulders to say, here it is, here's a jersey, when we can clearly see it's a training shirt, I think the fans are getting a little bit ripped off there. But the designs itself on it could definitely work in the future. And as you said, they might look better on players, and we might just be judgmental. Moving into the Canberra Raiders. Now, I think these jerseys are very similar, if not the same, as last year. I can't note of any changes to these ones from the 2023 season. Let me know if I am wrong in that.
I think I was just looking at it, and I was like, we could pretty much just copy and paste what we said last year. We were talking about we've done it for 3 years. I think they've had the same jersey, except they've just changed Toyota changed from the milk. But this year, they're literally the exact same. So
the only thing I can note, it almost looks as though, and I won't zoom in because I won't be able to get back out, but it almost looks as though the Raider is faded. I think they have gone with they obviously changed their logo a year or two ago. Yep. It looks like maybe they have faded that Raider a little bit so that it's less visible, and you've got more of the sponsorship and things on there. But again, that could have been there last year. It's not a bad jersey by any means. I probably prefer the away one, actually. I don't know what it is for me, but I don't mind the away one. I'm going to give the away one, I'm going to give it it's a 5.5 to a 6 for me. I'll go a 5.5, whereas the home jersey I'm not massive on, but it's not the worst. So about probably a 4.5 for me on that home jersey.
Yeah, for home, I'm going to go 5 because I genuinely like the Raiders jerseys most of the time. The away one, I'm going to give it like a 3 as well. It's just kind of generic, just white with a couple little patterns on the sleeve. That's about it.
I just think the Toyota forklifts being with the white background rather than a bold sticker around the I guess the nipple area there looks better like that. It's just me, but I think obviously you see a lot of these look like stickers, whereas I like that design, so I prefer it. But I can understand why more people wouldn't like it. It looks very
the one thing
basic.
I wanted to touch on is if you take out it being a Raiders jersey, I feel like Parramatta had a very similar jersey to this. Like the whole white.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, like because it's kind of generic enough that you can just slap like 1 or 2 colours on it and it's pretty much the same one.
Obviously, it's notable around the arms up here, but yeah, besides that, it could be mistaken for another team very easily. Well, Let's speak about your boys, the Bulldogs. Is this the first time you've properly seen the Bulldogs jersey for the season?
I've seen it. I've seen it because I remember looking at it. Just it's not anything different, is it? It's the exact same.
I don't know. I don't remember this Future Farm sponsor, but Future Form sponsor.
Oh,
before.
yeah, sponsor-wise, yeah. I don't think it was there.
I'd love to know what it says inside the collar there, but I like some jerseys having those additional things written inside it. I think it's really cool.
I believe Sydney Tools was the sponsor where this new one is, like for the last couple of seasons. I know a lot of the time just in the jerseys it says something like proud to be a Bulldog or I think the 1935 logo might be there. I'm pretty sure that they kind of throw that in a lot of them. Just because I only really get the Bulldogs jersey, I kind of figured a lot of clubs had something similar, but do they not? Does Parramatta have anything on the inside of theirs?
I don't think so. I'll have to double check. I haven't gotten the 2024 Eels jersey, but no, from memory, I don't think so. And this one's a custom one from the 80s. So,
what a jersey!
For this,
that goes for this
Bulldog,
one too. What a jersey!
I like the Bulldogs homes jersey here. I really do. I think it's better than the away one. I think the only thing, I guess it's okay, but I kind of actually like the Laundry hotels being lower. Also we had, I think it was Kia a couple of years ago. I kind of like it lower. It looks very blank towards the end. I'm going to give this jersey, it's probably one of the best I've seen out of the 4 so far. I'm going to give it a 5.5. I'm going to give it a 5.5 for the one on the left, the home jersey there. And then I'm going to give it just a 4 over here for the away one. I think the white with stripes with the blue kind of V there looks much cleaner than that white one over there.
So obviously I'm going to have a bit of bias here, but I was kind of going to give just both of them just a straight up 7 because I do like both of the jerseys, but they are essentially the same jerseys last year. You could pretty much pick up last year's jersey, and I don't think anyone would realise unless you're looking at the minor details. I will say I know, like, just watching it, and I've even seen, like, Crichton and stuff chuck on the jersey. I really rate this as one that it's nice to see the players wearing it. Like, it's one of those sort of jerseys that looks a lot better on the players. Yeah. I will just mention, I did see, I think her name is Lavender, like an influencer. She did does jersey rankings herself, and she had this on the bottom tier, and I could not believe it. I nearly lost my shit.
Yeah, no, I think that Bulldogs home one's pretty clean, to be honest. I don't think it deserves a bottom tier. Maybe the away one, but the home one's quite nice. We'll move into the Cronulla Sharks. Now, I think the Sharks have stuck with the same one. I don't mind the black jersey. Looking at these jerseys on their own, they don't look the greatest. But as you've said, when they see them on players, these look very, very nice on players. And the blue looks very, very light when you see it on, computer, phone, however you're watching this. But when you see it on someone like Nico Hines, Will Kennedy, it almost looks like it's a bit of a darker blue. Not a dark blue, but a darker colour, and it looks a lot better. For the home jersey here, even though it does look the same, I think it's a nice jersey. I'm going to give it a 5.5. And for the jersey on the right, the away one, I don't think it's as good. It is nice. It's a nice design, the black, but it almost doesn't look like it should be a Sharks jersey. It almost looks like, a Panthers jersey kind of thing. I'd get the vibe. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 5. I'm going to be generous there. I'm going to give it a 5 because I still like the design.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about so far. Just in terms of a lot of these jerseys, they're pretty much just copy and paste from the previous season. Maybe a sponsor difference here and there. But the Sharks, this is where I like the jersey, and it makes it hard to sort of rank or rate these jerseys because overall I do like the jersey. There's not a lot I would look at and I'm like, I don't like that and I don't like that. My initial thoughts was just to give him like a 6 straight up. Again, it's kind of similar to the Bulldogs. Just I like them. It's just they're the same from the previous year. The only thing is the Sharks is the same from the previous year, the previous year before that, previous year before that. They kind of just have stuck with this same design for quite a while now.
Yeah, it seems to be like they've kind of recycled it, but it might be what they like, and it is not a bad jersey for the fans. But again, to get something new after a couple of years, I think jerseys for 2 to 3 years it's acceptable, but when they don't change it, it's not acceptable. Now, this is interesting.
Yeah, this caught my eye. As soon as you scrolled down on this, I went, "Oh, okay."
Okay, so let's have a look at this. It's the Gold Coast Titans, as BKR, if you're watching, would say, the 2024 NRL Premiers jersey. Now, I really like this home jersey. Understand the new sponsor of Lottery Office obviously takes up quite a lot of room in the jersey. Then they've done a nice job of the colour being that lighter blue into the darker blue on the jersey, 2 different colours. The yellow around the sleeves there is a really nice outline as well. I'm a big fan of that, especially if that lottery office was just a little bit smaller. I'm just imagining things as, sponsors have to be there. It's part of rugby league. But I really like this jersey, and I'm actually going to give it a 7. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it a 7 for the home jersey. I think I really like this one. As for the away one, not as good. Again, one of those ones that look a bit like a training shirt. Weird design, but nice with the white up the top. Something else could have gone in the middle of that page, in my opinion. Couple of sponsors there on the sleeves, which are not too badly sized, and also the yellow around the sleeve as well being notable.
Am I noticing that does the home and the away have different sleeve sponsors?
Yes, they do. Okay. One's got Chemist Outlet. The other one I can't see too well. I think it is another Chem, but it's not Chemist Outlet by the looks of it. I'm going to give that away jersey a 5. I'm not massive on it. I was going to go lower because it's probably one of the... Actually, I don't like it. I'm going to give it a 3. I'm sorry. I'm going to give it a 3. I like the home jersey, 7. Away jersey, 3.
I was going to say the exact same thing because when you initially scrolled down, I was like, wow, okay, that's sponsors, right? And maybe, hey, credit to the people who make the logos for that lottery office because it's very eye-catching. A lot of colours there. It works with the home jersey for me. The away one, just being the lighter blue, it stands out a lot more. Doesn't really go. The sleeves look a little bit shitty. So, yeah, I was going to give it a 2. Home one, I was going to give like a 7. Which I think, apart from my biased Bulldogs, I think that's the highest one I've had so far. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of, if it's not similar to last year's one, it might not be the exact same, but it is very similar from memory. Just a different sponsor again, but the sponsor is very significant for this one.
Yeah, we like those jerseys.
I'll just mention in my chat, this is one of the ones that has actually got the most mentions, and one of my comments, Tiger, has said the sponsor is ugly and ruins the jersey, which is essentially kind of what we just said.
Yeah, I mean, it's notable, but I think it works with this home jersey. Obviously, if it was a little bit smaller, you'd love it even more, but I just think the colour design, the way they've made the shape of this jersey, the sponsors blending in to still show a bit of colour, not just, text everywhere with boxes of colour, I think that it still looks good. All right, let's move into the... Oh, yep.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's decent. I'm intrigued to see if Titans fans think it's what they think of it, to be honest.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. All right, so I want to ask because I'm pretty sure this is the first year of this new Manly logo?
Yes, yes.
It is, isn't it? Yes. So this is obviously a notable change. I'm not a big fan of this. I understand that AI makes decisions and you're going for more basic designs in the future. I don't like this logo. I've absolutely loved Manly's logo for the last about 15 years that I can remember. As for the jersey, it looks fairly similar though, besides that logo change. Obviously, I don't even know what I did give it last year, but I don't think it's too bad of a jersey as for the home one. I don't think the away one's all that great personally, so I'll start with the away one, and I'm going to give it a 4.5. I'm not massive on it at all, but as for this home jersey, it's a very likable one. Just that new logo, but let's pretend the old logo's on it. I'm going to give it about a 6.
Yeah, I was trying to think back to what we had said last year, and I know a lot of the thing we had talked about, I'm pretty sure with Manly, was how we thought the PointsBet sponsor integrated well, and I still agree with the home jersey. We I think, at least I sort of remember saying that the Manly home jersey, you kind of don't stuff with it too much. It's pretty, you kind of have a similar sort of design every year, and it's still pretty good. So, like a 6 or 7 for the home jersey, but I think that away jersey, I think that's horrendous. I think that's like
I'm looking at it and I'm wanting to scroll straight past it.
Also, just on the Titans one, one of my chat comments said the logo for the sponsor looks like a dishwashing tablet.
Yes, it does. That's actually a very good example. All right, let's move into the Storm.
Ooh.
Now, we saw this I'm pretty sure it was last year, we saw like a soccer design for the Storm, which was interesting. I liked it. I remember you didn't like it. Now, if I'm looking at these jerseys, this is interesting because for me personally, I think I like the away one more than the home. And I know people are going to disagree with me once again there, but I think that the white that's used within the logo works with it. And then you've also got the Z actually being red, obviously that red Z, which wouldn't work with the home jersey. I actually really like that away jersey. I kind of wish they found some room to put that lightning bolt that's on the home jersey there on the away one. So I'll start off with the home jersey, which I'm going to give a lower score. I'm going to give the home jersey, it's still very likable. I'm going to give it a 6. I actually think the away jersey is my favourite one I've seen so far. The more I look at this, the more I like it. I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give it an 8.
So I was going to go the complete opposite route to you, to be honest. I say actually, it's funny you brought up last year's one because I remember for sure ripping into their away jersey, which when I actually saw them playing in, I actually thought it was a nice overall jersey, shorts, sock. I thought it was a good look for the Storm. I think I'm about to do the exact same thing as I did last year. So maybe by the end of next year comes around, I'll be saying the same thing. But you talked about like if they found room for the lightning bolt. It seemed to me like there's no reason they shouldn't have put the lightning bolt on. It looks like a training shirt to me.
I'm actually looking at it. I'm looking at it more and more, and there's one thing I have noticed that I don't like. I don't like these wavy lines that are inside the purple. I like that kind of rugged rib design over there on the home jersey. So I'm kind of eating at my words here, but the red Z, the white with the purple, it's tough. I'm looking at that where the Suzuki is, seeing all those lines, and it's so noticeable once you see it. That's the thing that I'm going to downgrade this 8 to a 7 right now, on par with the Titans jersey. I'm going to change it.
I'm just sort of noticing is the lines, is it on the home jersey, is it like the dark purple and then in the home it's got the white? Like, is it actually different? Or am I just
it's absolutely different. It's absolutely different. Okay. It's a different, like it's a white outline as if you were to trace it on the away jersey, whereas it looks imprinted on the home jersey. And maybe even, if you were to draw over it in texture. It looks like there are a lot more lines as well on that away jersey.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. Like, I don't think they look ugly or anything. To me, they're just, again, okay, this might be a good thing because I've talked about how teams don't take risks. And for majority of these, this might be one of the first ones which has a legitimate design change. Majority of these have been the copy and paste from last year, a couple of sponsor changes. This is one that's actually gone for something different. The only problem is they've gone for a copy and paste of the home jersey to the away jersey. And again, I'll just touching on that. To me, it looks like a training jersey, especially like in particular that home one. If I looked and I saw Harry Grant in a training jersey, at training wearing this, I go, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of neither good nor bad. I'm just going to give like a 5 to both of them.
Okay, on par there for the Storm. I as much as I like that one, I'm looking at it and it's just going down and down. But I'll stick with the 7 at the moment. The Storm and Titans. Titans home, Storm away are my favourites thus far. All right, let's move in. Did I go too far?
Okay.
All right, let's move into the Warriors. Now, I'm not mistaken here that the 1NZ logo on the away jersey has been moved up. And I actually don't like that. I don't like that at all. Again, one of these ones that look like a training shirt. It actually looks really, really bad. I'm sorry, but it looks really, really bad. And the fact that the 1NZ has been moved up, obviously to fit that smaller design of a shirt, I know what they're trying to do. But, yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm going to give that a 2.5 because that's awful. Whereas their home jersey's not too bad. The Warriors have seemed to have made better jerseys in recent years, and they've been building towards some bangers. This one not so much, but it's still good. I don't notice too many changes to last year, but from looking at that, there is definitely a little bit of a colour change. Unless it's just the way it's seen on the computer. But I'm going to give it a 6 at the moment on the home one.
I'm just kind of just trying to analyse, and I don't know if it's because I'm looking at like a smaller screen, but like the green and stuff for the away jersey, does it look more suited with the sponsor? They've gone for the same colour as the sponsor? Is that what I'm saying, or is it two different shades?
I think
of green?
they've gone with a lighter green and it's kind of faded out. So I think the fading out of it makes it look like the sponsor colour, but I don't think it's anything deliberate by what I'm looking at. I think they're just saying, here's the line's gone, here's part of your white and your jersey.
It's interesting how when they initially changed to the current home jersey they got now, it's pretty much what they've had since they changed back to these colours predominantly. They haven't really changed too much apart from, maybe like the sponsor pretty much being like the big one. It's a nice jersey. It always looks good in like when you see them play. Nothing really changed. Like in terms of it, I think like a 5, it's pretty much the same jersey. The away one, yeah, when I saw it, it's another one where they've tried something different and credit to them for trying something. Warriors kind of always known as the team that has 50,000 jerseys, all the interesting ones. I kind of recall them doing similar designs with different colours in previous years. I feel like one of the Rugby League live games had one of these ones. And, very hit and miss. And, yeah, for this one, I think it is a miss. In terms of, like, the logo and stuff, it's not too big a problem for me. It's just, jersey itself, it just looks kind of, I don't know, just bad, I guess, is the best way to put it. I don't really know how to describe, they've got the hoops, whatever, but, they've kind of got some Rabbitohs colours with the... Yeah, obviously they had the colours too, but I'm not a big fan of it. So maybe like a 4. It's not the worst jersey I'll probably see or probably have ever seen or anything, but I think if Warriors fans, if you're going to go buy a jersey, I don't think you're going to be buying this one. You're going to be buying the home one, guaranteed.
You're going to be buying the home one, yep. I think so too. All right, let's move into the Newcastle Knights. Now, this looks very similar, but it actually does look like a little bit change. It looks like they've gone with a lighter red. A lot of teams going with lighter colours. I'll start off with the away jersey, and I'll say that this one looks okay on players, but looking at this design from what they're going off here, I'm not a big fan at all. And it almost looks like, a Dragons jersey with a Knights logo and some blue slapped on it, which is, the home jersey looks a lot better. I kind of want to see it on a player to judge how the red looks like, because these obviously looks like they copy and pasted outlines from, maybe emails sent from the club. So this definitely is a new design. I'm almost certain the way that this is. I don't mind, but I don't love the home jersey. I'm going to give the home jersey I'm going to give it a 5.5. Because I think back to the Bulldogs one, and I think it's on par with that, if not the Bulldogs just better, but close there. As for the away jersey, again, I'm looking at it and I'm not liking it. I'm going to give it... it's pretty low, actually. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm being a little bit generous there because, again, it looks like another team's colours, but I don't mind some of the white. If the white was utilised to be like a blue V into a white V and then you had something else down the bottom there, this would look a lot better. I'm interested because I feel like you might like these ones more than I do, but I'm going to stick with the low rating there on the away.
So your ratings, like pretty much that's what I was going to go for. The only thing I was going to say is that I think last year we talked a lot about the NIB changing. They changed their actual logo itself, and we thought it didn't work with the actual jersey. But then when it came to them actually wearing it, like I kind of didn't really notice it too much. It didn't look like too much of an eyesore for me. So I don't know if the Knights are just one that once you take into account like the shorts and the socks and just the overall one. I think I said it about one of the other sides too, but the overall look for it, I think it ends up all right. But just the jersey itself, it's just another Newcastle jersey. Like nothing too special, nothing too terrible. It's just, like they keep going back to this same sort of design, back to, what was it, like 2001-ish sort of design. It's kind of just same old Knights.
Yep. All right, moving into the Cowboys, I can't note any changes from last year's jersey. I remember last year I really liked them. Still really like this jersey. I think it was the same last year. I'm going to give it a 9 for the home jersey. I think it's one of the best jerseys in the NRL, especially looking at it on a player. Looks fantastic as well. The white Toyota looks much better than the black one on that side. I think it's Dynasty up the top on the shoulders just works really, really well as well. Big fan of this jersey. The away one, not so much. It's not awful, but it's definitely not up there with a 9. I'm going to give the away jersey a 6.
Yeah, looking at it, I think from the first time we did these rankings, like rated them, I'm sure they've had pretty much the same design. Maybe one year they had like a little bit of a zigzag design, and I don't know. It's just
I thought
just
they had something different a couple of years ago. I could be wrong.
Was that where they have a straight V now? Was it like a little zigzag sort of thing?
I can't remember now.
It just essentially it doesn't change too much, so it's no like sort of wacky design or anything like that. But it's so clean. It's probably the cleanest jersey in terms of all the sponsors, colours. Everything kind of just works. It all integrates well. Like you said, the away jersey, is it just straight up a black logo for the Toyota for the away one, or is it like
it looks like it's the white background with the black writing with the black logo.
Yeah, just like I don't understand why not go for the same color as like the navy blue. I feel like that would make it so much better. But I'm going to give it an 8 because it's for the home one. 8 for the home one, 7 for the away. Because overall, I still think it's so far easily the best one we've seen as a combo, and also just best jersey itself. But I'm noticing a lot of these jerseys so far. Like we're pretty good way through, and there's nothing too crazy with it. And the ones that they have tried to experiment with have been absolute flops.
Absolutely. All right, speaking of a bit of experimenting, my boys, the Parramatta Eels. Now, you mentioned we've seen this white jersey for the 3rd year. From what I can confirm, and I'm pretty sure this is correct information, at the time of 2025 filming this, Parramatta will be going away from the away jersey, and they may also, we will see, but they also may also be moving from the Macron sponsor to a new sponsor. But the white jersey here for the last year, again, like last year, wasn't a massive fan of the 2022 white jersey. No, it's fairly similar, but there are a couple of colour changes and things that they did. The yellow instead of the white up here on the collar. Love this away one. So I'm going to give the away one probably about a 7.5. It's not the greatest, but I love wearing it. Still wear it to this day. As for this home one, I'm not a fan, and I'm frustrated as a fan because we're meant to be the blue and gold team, right? And it seems more like we've turned into this blue, again, soccer kind of training jersey. I want to see something like this. I want to see something blue and gold that I want to be proud to wear. Yeah, you're probably going to see me at some point find myself in a home jersey. I'm not jumping and lining up, though, to go and get this jersey. And I was very disappointed. Even the collar up the top, you've seen a lot of teams change their colour to suit the jersey. And they've gone with the same colour. And if not, they've kind of got no collar at all from the looks of it. I've had a little bit of one look in a Rebel sports store. I don't like the design down the bottom as well. There's a lot of negatives here. But as I said, it will probably be worn by me, and I'm open to seeing if I like it more and more. And, next year, you ask me, did you enjoy wearing it or not? And I'll answer the question. But right now, when I'm looking at that jersey, absolutely one of the worst I've ranked here. And I'm going to give Parramatta's home jersey a 5.
When you'll see it in the playback, but when you mentioned that it looks like a soccer jersey, that was what my initial thought was. I don't think it necessarily looks bad. I think if I was a Parramatta fan, as you are, I'd be a lot more passionate. It's just like a neutral. It's okay. It's not awful. Again, it's like another case of them going. They're one of the few clubs who've actually tried something different. It looks like they've used like a little bit of a gradient sort of effect. I'm intrigued to see what it looks like in person, and whether the shorts and whether things sort of match as like an overall look. But very blue is what I'll say, because I feel like in previous years they've had blue ones, but it's sort of like they've sort of not even it out, but the yellow is quite predominant, whereas this one, they've got a few lines, and that's about it. Look, I'll give it a 5. This is one that I can easily see once you see Gutho and, Moses and stuff running around in it and go, that's a nice jersey. Maybe because is that the actual jersey or a cartoony sort of mock-up sort of one?
No, this is the actual jersey. I've seen it in store. Yeah. I've only seen it once and I was frustrated. And you've mentioned it as well, going away from and going more to blue. I think the most yellow that you can see on that jersey is the Eel logo. And a jersey should not predominantly be your team's colours just on the logo. And that's what frustrates me. I've never really spoken about a jersey like this. And as I said, you'll probably see me wear it. You'll probably say, oh, he's a sook, but he's wearing it. But as a fan, I expected a lot more. And, they've had fan input and different things for hats and jerseys and this and that over the years. For them to come up with this, maybe it's the final year of Macron, and Macron aren't the greatest designers in the world for it. But even the sizing, from what I've heard, if you get a medium jersey, it's really small. If you get a large jersey, then you're buying a medium. The sizing for this jersey, it's very different to something Parramatta's put out. But that's enough Parramatta until March, or I'll put out some previews for you. But moving away from the Eels there, and we've both given a 5 for that horrible home jersey.
Just want to touch on the Eels, the away jersey. If you just scroll back up to the away jersey.
Yeah.
Now, if you open up like a little paint editing thing and you change that yellow to a green, does that look very similar to that Raiders jersey that I was mentioning?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very, very similar. But it's just crazy how not crazy, but it's just a trend with the Eels is that for a couple of years they'll go blue, a couple of years they'll go yellow. I think I prefer the yellow ones. That's what I think of when I think of like the success sort of thing.
I haven't owned one of the yellow ones since 2019, I think. But I think they should go back to it.
I don't know why they just don't straight up rip off the one that you're wearing right now.
Yeah, that'd be good. Good. Or the 2005 one. Oh, I've got that somewhere. Well, not in this house, but I've got it. Very nice jersey.
We've seen some of the previous clubs. They kind of go for times when there was a lot of success at the club. And then, yeah, Eels are just like, nah, stuff it. We'll just pick random designs.
All right, let's talk about the Panthers. They've won 3 straight grand finals and they want to deliver the best jersey possible to their fans. This is a really interesting collar. I'm looking at this collar and it almost looks like there's a gap in the middle, which it really looks really strange looking at that on first. I believe My Place is either a new sponsor or if not a new sponsor, they're definitely now the face of the jersey. It's obviously the first year without Oak as well. It's fairly similar. There's a little bit of designs with the lines in the background, whereas there's nothing towards the middle. It's mainly at the top, which looks a bit weird. But again, see on players and you'll probably like it. I think it's all right. I don't think it's too bad. I'm going to give it a 6.5 there for the home one. The away jersey, once again, going for the pink. It just seems to be what they do. It's not the greatest looking jersey, even on players. Probably give it about a 4.5 for that one. And then I'm looking at this new one, which you're speaking about players going for, a fresh design, a new look. Now, I think this is based on a lot of Fijian or Samoan players like, or even New Zealand-based maybe. But I think this is more that Fiji, Samoan type of jersey. And they've got a nice cultural design there. Lots of input probably from the fans. It almost looks raster as well at the collars, like it's faded, not just the traditional colours, which looks really, really nice. I actually really like this jersey. I'm going to give this alternate one a 7.
I was just going to say, looking at that, I don't understand why they don't make that the home jersey. Like, it's the home and the alternate are pretty much the same, just the alternate's got, like you said, it's got the sort of cultural look. They've had that same look. I feel like Penrith kind of figured out their template, and then they just keep doing it every year, and they've changed the sponsors and whatever. But they've got their template of the Pink Panthers, and then once they change to the red, green, and yellow, I think it looks nice, and they do that every year. Hertz is around every year. Just the fact that they actually change it up with the alternate one, I was like, just change it for your home one. It still looks close enough. Like, it's similar enough that I feel like the Penrith fans are going to be like, yeah, nice, that'd be cool. But also, it's something different. It gives the fans a reason to buy the jersey. Because
I'm looking at it more and more, and I could be wrong here, but it almost looks in the alternate one like the Panther is faded. I've mentioned a few times about things faded, and this looks like it's got a darker logo on both of these, especially the pink one there. And my eyes could be playing tricks on me, but it does really look like they've faded that alternate one, which I think is a really nice feature as well to work and showcase more of those cultural design.
They definitely could have. I mean, in terms of rating it, I'm going to give the alternate one, I'm going to give it, probably the highest one, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 at all of these ones. Yep. Because overall, again, like we've talked about a fair few of them, a lot of the times I like the jersey. It's just same old shit, essentially, what we've been saying. Obviously, Oak being different is a big thing. I think, again, we talk about the sponsor integration. I think it works well for it, so that part's good. Home and away, I'm going to give them 5s because they're the exact same jersey for the most part. Same designs. They're not bad, but they're the exact same. But just the away one, it's just different enough that I'm like, yeah, that's nice. And if I was a Penrith fan, give me a reason to buy it. Because I feel like a lot of time as like an NRL supporter of how expensive these jerseys are, you got to have like something different. Like, you don't want to be buying the exact same jersey from the previous year to the previous year before that. And one little change in an Oak sponsorship, probably not enough that will convince you. Whereas this is something that I think is unique and actually looks good. Also, the only thing I will say is the collar. I'm not a big fan of the collar.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something I can't really recall any jerseys in the past having that sort of collar. Which is also something that, going back to, I think, the Broncos one with the big collar. Interesting that a lot they've all sort of kept away from that. I was thinking more clubs might have gone for the traditional collar, like brought that back. But no.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they are. All right, let's move into the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I was going to say it looked like they had a bit of a collar, so it'd be funny if you summoned
straight
it.
Into it.
I think this is
same jersey?
Similar. I don't know if it's the same. I feel like I don't know. I could be wrong, but
actually, I remember saying something about it. Is it something about the sleeves where like you see the red hoops or like the red and green, the stripes, I should say, I feel like the sleeves haven't matched up, like they've gone into their own ones, or they haven't had the stripes. I feel like maybe something along the lines of that. I remember seeing something about it. But that's the only difference.
I'm just trying to work out which one of these I like more. And I think I like the away one more. I know the Black Rabbitoh looks better on the home one. But the home one looks like a stranger green. I think it's going to look a lot better on players. But I'm looking at that white collar. I'm looking at the white on the shoulders of the sponsor there. The black MG and the black Rabbitoh do look better than the white Rabbitoh. But I'm going to give the away jersey. I like it, but I don't love it. I'm going to give it a 6. As for the home jersey, I'm probably going to give it about a 5 because it's not the worst, but there are some notable things. And I think the colours, looking at that, don't look great, especially at the top. It almost looks like, spray paint's been sprayed over from the collar onwards.
I think we talk about the Rabbitohs and the Dragons, even the Roosters to a degree for their home ones. There's a lot where I don't really expect them to come out with something crazy different jersey. But for me, same. It's just the same jersey every year. Like if I showed you this one, but then if I came on here, or if you came on here and you showed me the 2018 jersey, or whenever MG took over, and we're like, oh, here it is, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's this year's jersey. There's nothing different to like differentiate, apart from, like I said, maybe the sleeves, and even then, that's something that if you're just looking at it casually, probably not going to pick up on.
It's the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to give it 4 for both of them. They're both very similar. I do like how the MG changes colours. That part's cool, and it is said about a lot of the sponsors that we do like it when they try and work with the actual jersey itself rather than plastering a random logo on. But yeah, it's just nothing special.
All right, let's move into the Dragons, and short and sweet because they just don't seem to change their jerseys. I hope they do it eventually in the future. Not massive on the alternate or away jersey there for the Dragons. Haven't been for years. Even when I see it, I just don't think it's the nicest looking jersey. So I'm probably going to give that one a 4.5 for the alternate one. As for the home one, I know it's still the same, but I think this is a classic jersey that still works this day. I would love to see something different, whether it be an absolute flop or for them to absolutely succeed in a new design, which, the Dragons just might do that. So let them cook. But right now, looking at this home one, I still like it. It definitely gets lower, probably seeing it repetitively, but I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Yeah, I think just based off these previous one, current one, and the next one, we can see a little bit of the Roosters there. I think just pretty much the same jerseys. The home one, I like it. It's like a 7. It's always a nice jersey, the home one. Alternate, this seems to be the kind of design that they've sort of landed on in terms of just the lines. I don't like it. It's funny how they go for the traditional red V St. George part of it, but for the alternate, they're like, let's go red because it's Illawarra, but they don't do the Illawarra look.
Actually, is this their last year with St. George?
I think so. Just before you said
so they're going to have to change it.
Yeah, because I was thinking that this year was definitely like they go out of business or something, or do they leave? They've just left the sponsorship. I feel like they're definitely off as a sponsor.
Cut the partnership was cut off. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking it was this year. That part in itself will probably next year when we do it. I think that will be a big talking point, is whatever logo ends up on it. But yeah, not a fan of this alternate. It's just, I don't know, too much going on, but it's like there's a lot going on, but it's not good. So I'm going to give it like a 2.
Oh, very low there. All right, let's have a look at these Roosters ones. Now, the home one, very, very similar, if not the same as last year. It's pretty good jersey. I'm going to give it a 6.5 or a 7? I'm going to give it a 7. I think it looks really nice, especially on the fan. I think the away one's fairly similar, but I feel like maybe the blue Steagles was there and I'm just blind, but I don't like the away one as much as I'm looking at it. That white V on the home one, up the top towards your neck looks really, really nice. And it almost looks like these V's or lines are out of position where they shouldn't be. I'm looking at it more and I'm not liking it, actually. I'm going to give this Roosters one probably a 5.5. It's okay, and there's some okay colour designs that they've gone with, but overall, I'm not massive on it.
Yeah, for me, home 7, the away the 6. As soon as you met, like, when you mentioned the Steggles, I was like, all right, cool, I'm not the only one thinking this. Because, again, it's just a case of, I don't know, like, when they design the jersey, I get, if you go and buy stuff, I think maybe, is the Steggles logo, is that their actual colours for their actual logo? Because the
this one?
thing I can, you know, like the blue that they've got on there, if you go and buy something from Woolworths or whatever, is that the logo
that's
Steggles have?
I think that's the box colour, but I think that's the actual logo there normally.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, like, that's the only thing I can think of is the fact that they didn't match up the Steggles blue and the Roosters blue. Like, why not just go for the Roosters blue for the sponsor? It's not that different in the sense that for Steggles it's not going to mean anything. But for us looking at it, it aesthetically just looks kind of shitty. Especially when, like, the sleeve sponsors kind of go with it. I feel like they kind of all go with the same blue, and then you just got the Steggles that is just like a touch off. So I'm going to give the home one a 7 because it's just the same old jersey last couple of years. And the away one, I'm going to give it 3.
Ooh, low there. All right, the Dolphins. Is this our last one? No, we haven't got the Tigers. So I think it's just the Dolphins at the time. All right, so the Dolphins. Obviously, we saw their jersey last season, and they've obviously gone with the same jersey. I own a Dolphins home jersey, I think. I don't think I own an away one, but I own one Dolphins jersey. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which one I do own, but I think the home one looks really nice. I think we described the away one to be like a can of vanilla Coke last year. Seeing them on the players, though, they looked pretty good. Yep. So I think we were quick to judge, and I think we're actually wrong about that. But again, there's all this hype around the Dolphins being this kind of new NRL team, so we might just be saying we absolutely love everything about them. I think their home one is their best design of those two there. I really like this alternate one. Now, looking at the design, it doesn't look great. But if you see photos released by the club and see it on players, it looks fantastic. That photo does not do it justice, and I'm going to give it a 7 for the alternate one. For the away jersey, I'm going to give it a 5.5. And for the home jersey, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I'm going to go quite high there, but 7.5 for the home.
Yeah, I was thinking just straight up 7.5 all around for all three of them. And I'm glad you did mention last year I was very critical of this jersey. And I think a lot of people were, to be fair. It is hard because we are judging this based off purely just the top itself, and then sort of mentioned earlier in previous ones where you add in like the overall look with the shorts and all that sort of stuff. What we talked about with the yellow, we were going, I think should be predominantly red and white. The yellow didn't look weird when it was in person, like the players wearing it. It all seemed to sort of just add up. Whereas you look at this and you're like, jersey looks kind of strange, but we kind of know how things are by this point in terms of the jerseys on the players. So yeah, I'm pretty confident with the one I gave. Did they have an alternate? Did they play in a black jersey last year?
I don't think they did. I remember they had their nice Indigenous or Anzac round. I think it was one of those jerseys looked fantastic, but I don't remember them having an alternate one unless they had a Brisbane. No, that was the Broncos. No, I don't think they did.
The only thing worth noting is, again, it's like the Kings. It's like they have the blue up against like the red. But again, like just looking at it in terms of how I've talked about other jerseys, I would probably nitpick this one. But then I just know in person it just didn't bother me. Kind of the same way as the Knights one, where when I looked at it right now, just looking straight up as the jersey, I went, nah, it looks weird. You know, the blue on the red. And then you see it in person and you're like, nah, it's sweet, it's good. Also, my comment saying they played one game against the Cowboys with the black jersey last year.
Yeah, they did play. That's right. They play. That's how I saw those photos. So the alternate one, they did play a game and they said we'll be using this next year. And I thought that looks sick. All right, is this our final club? This is our final
Sure
club.
is.
This is the end of the video that you have reached. It is the West Tigers. Now, I've obviously seen, I think it was last year, the West Tigers obviously changed their logo in either 2022 or 2023, and that was the first year of it. Now, I prefer the home jersey here. I know I've preferred a lot of away ones, but I think the orange doesn't look the greatest, whereas the black looks really, really nice on this jersey. The sponsors work. Bryden's Lawyers doesn't look too big compared to some other sponsors, just absolutely blasting out everywhere. I'm going to give the Tigers home jersey a 7. I was thinking lower, but I'm going to go 7. I think it's quite nice. I was thinking even higher, but I'll stick with a 7 for now. As for the away jersey, I'm going to give it about a 5. Like, it's okay, but it's not as good. And it almost looks like a deodorant can over there on the away jersey.
That's classic. Yeah. I'm looking at like the home jersey. Is it like a grey?
It almost looks like it's a grey, doesn't it, towards the bottom? That's what I was thinking. And what is that outline of string going around the side?
Yeah, even for the away one, is there like a little random black V at the bottom, or is that like they've got this on one of those?
They've got that for both.
Model.
They've got that for both. You can see the black V, which is like a dotted design for both jerseys down the bottom.
Yeah, because I'm trying to decipher. I'm trying to decipher whether that's like they've taken the photo with it on like a mannequin or something. Because if you look, they both got nipples, which is just random for like a just a mock-up jersey. Because initially I was thinking this, it looks kind of arty, but it must be the actual jersey. Yeah, it's just pretty much the same jersey as last year, right? Nothing really too different. Kind of like a 6 maybe. I do prefer the home one.
It's got something written in the collar as well. I don't know if you can see it. It says "Show your stripes" within the collar, so that's pretty cool as well.
And it's good. Well, when we went through it, so the Bulldogs have it and the Tigers have it. It'd be interesting to see if some of the other clubs had it.
Hidden away.
Yeah, I'm gonna give 6 for both of them. Well, six for home and a 5 for the away. Actually, sorry, change my mind.
Perfect. Well, there you go, guys. That is all 17 rugby league teams. We've been going for almost an hour, so this is probably our longest video doing the jersey rankings. We look forward to doing it in 2025. Make sure you let us know in the comments your favourite jersey, your least favourite jersey. If you haven't subscribed to Mr. Luke Sports, make sure you go and check it out. Head on over to his channel. And I believe we can find you on Twitch as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Twitch. I'm pretty sure it's Mr. Luke Streams. Twitter, X, Mr. Luke on YT pretty much is a lot of social media stuff. I'm sure if you just write in Mr. Luke Sports, it will come up. Rugby League Live 4. Want to see some content on that sort of stuff, I'm your go-to guy. So come over to the channel.
Perfect. Well, we definitely need to get you in the Sports Shed TV charity match next year, mate. We've seen you play Rugby League Live on PlayStation or Xbox, whatever you play on, but we need to see it in person. And I'll tell you what, mate, I'd love to put a shot on you. So, it's been fantastic going into these jerseys. Obviously, we've seen some strange designs. We've seen some great designs, and I've had a ton of fun. And I look forward to doing it all again this time next year. But if you're new around here to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Like the video, drop a comment, and we'll see you guys later.
Cheers.